peace and high frequencies. In the sunshine. Yes, y'all. Blackfoot Witch, the Dream Oracle, y'all. That would be me. And I'm going to talk about a few different topics. But last night, if you saw my post in the community tab, I had a dream last night that Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the Corporation of the United States of America, was pushed. She was pushed down the escalator, y'all. She was pushed down the escalator and killed. It was an order for her murder. And it happened. Now, I didn't see when she was pushed. It was just like a knowing. Like, I knew that's what happened. And then I had this remote viewing of seeing her body, like, tumble down the escalator. Just tumble. And then the security guards on the side, like, oh, like they just couldn't catch her. Like, she was moving so fast they couldn't catch her. And then she gets all the way to the bottom of the escalator. And you could just see her body just kind of, like, lifeless with this, like, areas of blood pulsed out of her face. And it was wild, y'all. It was it was wild. I woke up and the only thing that I could like say when I woke up was Kamala Harris, they killed Kamala Harris. They killed Kamala Harris. They ordered to kill Kamala Harris. That was like the biggest thing that I kept saying. And it was just funny, like I just could see it. So don't know what that dream means at all. I don't know if there's an order out to like get rid of well, we already know, you know, there's been an order to kind of like keep the divine feminine down, of course, on, you know, Kamala Harris or what's going on. I don't keep up. I don't know what's going on with the White House. I don't know what's going on with Kamala Harris. Y'all, you know, I don't vote. I don't participate in any of those practices. So I have no clue. But I also did want to share what I have been experiencing for about 30 years almost. What I have learned within the last 10 years of light language. And huge shout out to Erin Lyons. I don't know if some of you were able to watch it, but she was on Black Magic 363 the first time that I have heard of this young woman. And she channels the Galactic Federation. She channels Source. And she also speaks in light language. And she also does the light language mudras. All right. Now, she goes through doing the light language mudras like really fast. And that's extremely amazing to me. Because when I do the mudras, I hold them. Like I'll receive information just to hold the mudras. So if I'm getting a mudra, I'll just get it just to hold it. But I've never gotten the mudras to actually move through them so fast like she does. It's absolutely amazing. And it's a powerful experience to even hear her and see her do them both. So definitely check out Erin Lyons' YouTube. I haven't been on her Instagram, but I've definitely been on her YouTube. Check her out on YouTube. And shout out, if you all don't watch Black Magic 363, Brother Rich is definitely doing the work on that channel too. That young lady has definitely blown up, in which she shares her experience if you watch that episode. And so she had an LSD trip to get her to that experience. And I know, this is what I'm sharing. I know us as black folk, especially black women who are already connected to source, because we take what is not seen and bring it to the seen realm, just by the fact that we are a complete portal. we have that direction connection to source. And as black women, especially in the church, growing up in the church, and I grew up COGIC, so what we were doing was speaking in tongues, what they call it. They use the book of Acts, and speaking in tongue was like your initiation within the COGIC. You initiated once you speaking in tongues. So when I was a teenager, I just ended up speaking in tongues. Wasn't nothing I was trying to do, wasn't nothing that I was, working to do, or I had to do this. It just all of a sudden happened, and then I didn't say anything. It was like my own little secret. I kept it to myself. I was like, I don't know what this is. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But it felt extremely powerful. And it was like when I needed it, I would speak in these other words. And it wasn't, and it did not feel like I had control. It feel like I submitted complete control into that frequency of whatever that was during that time. And y'all, this was like in the 90s. So during that time, of course, I ain't had nobody to tell, one no goddamn TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. I'm just holding this energy in. Now, when I was pregnant, I would speak in tongues over my son while nobody else was around. And so as I started to move more and more into my spiritual practice, it started to come out more. So I would say round about 2015, 16, that's when I was just full out embracing it. That's when I embraced it. And that's when, and 2-3 years after that, I would say 2017, 18, I started to see people talk about light language. And I was like, okay, light language. We're not even knowing in the black church, we tapping into a whole different force field. That's why it's so extremely powerful. Now, this is not something that I did for display. I never did it for show. I never do it and just to be doing, as this is something that I can do. I do it when I am led, when I am connected to that source or that force energy, and it leads me. I've spoken it over while driving over my son. I'll speak it, it'll just hit me, and I'll speak my language, my cosmic words out over myself, to project things that are to come or should come and happen, and it'll just happen just like that. And so to hear the young lady Erin Lyons speak about it, one of the things that she stated is the fact that the light languages or the light codes is the sacred geometry symbols of these ancient tongues, these sacred symbols. These are the sounds, the vibratory sounds of these sacred geometry symbols. And this is the sounds that come together. So when I'm speaking in this language, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I know exactly why I'm saying what I'm doing it, but it's like those sounds penetrate far deeper than I can in the English language. And so you all may have seen a few months back, I was speaking in light language about those who, have cried in the dark, who have, been going through things on their own, but now they are going to be rewarded openly. And when I was speaking about that, the energy hit me for me to speak in my light language and for me to release that and speak that over your life. So it comes just like that. And so it feels so wonderful. And it feels so good because I first started speaking about my light language here on this channel a year and a half ago when I shared light language, and it was something that I've never shared. It was something that I've always kept close to me because it felt like a gift from the divine. It just felt like a gift, and it felt like whenever it needs to be utilized, we're here for you, and you can utilize this as an additional protection over your life, protection over people, to call things forth into your life. Like, you can use it. So reason why I'm sharing is because I feel like there are more of us. I feel like there are definitely more women who can tap into this energy. And I'm also shout out to Sister Vicky Diller. Now, she was also on the show, and I've been following Sister Vicky for some time now, probably about 5 or 6 years now. And she was on the show as well with Black Magic 363. And she shared with us the book of the Sybils. And I ordered that book. She shared it. As soon as she shared it, I ordered it like that on Amazon. And it came in, and I've been reading it. And it talks about who the Sybils are. Who these divine goddesses and high priestesses who were divine oracles, where the Catholic Church stole their information and created Jehovah, which is a whole lesser god that they've created, and they've taken and wrapped it around what the Sybil and the Sybils actually are and were. And it also talks about how a lot of the African American women who were brought over here, who were here and went through as prisoners of war and slavery, are the ancestors of the Sybils. It's a very, very powerful book. I'm going to share it on here if you all didn't get to watch that episode. I'm going to take a snapshot and put it on the community tab. But as oracles, I feel like as women, we are oracles. We see things before they happen. We have dreams, like I have here. Blackfit Witch, the dream oracle. We can use tarot. We can use oracle cards. We can use any type of divination. We can sit, like I said before, we can sit and knit a sweater or a blanket, and we'll have all of these revelations, all right? We can look up at the sky and we'll know what's going on. We had grandmama be in the kitchen cooking, and she'll know what's been going on with the family, with Uncle so-and-so. You know, it's just so many different ways that we have been diviners and oracles. And I think we received this programming that, you know, we're speaking in tongues, but it's always been a connection to source, a connection to our higher council of light, our connection to the cosmic energy force that is and that will and that always will be, right? And so I definitely wanted to share that. Now, I told you this video is going to be a lot of different things. It's about a lot of different things, y'all. So another thing, yesterday, went to go see Ant-Man Quantumania. Oh my God. When your Kundalini energy has began its process of rising and circulating throughout your physical form, if your aura can be seen, if your light is bright, if your third eye is awakened, seeing this movie brings in so many different connections to what's going on in the Matrix, or what's going on time, space, reality. And also, you watch that movie, go back and watch the last episode of Loki on Disney Channel, okay? When I saw it, I immediately told my partner, I told him, I was like, okay, so we got to go watch the last episode of Loki, because the last episode of Loki connects Kang, all right? And Kang, y'all, if y'all don't know who Kang is from Loki, he who remains, all right? And Ant-Man, his name is the Conqueror. So within the quantum field, as we know in quantum physics, there are so many different possibilities of existence that can occur, okay? We know this time-space reality is not the only time-space reality that we are existing in. And it shows that it goes through that in Loki, and then they also started to tap on it again in Ant-Man and the Wasp in Quantumania, which was, I I mean, once Kang came on the scene, and the story started to unfold as him being the conqueror and who he is, then it just became amazing. I don't want to ruin it for you, so y'all watch it. At the end of it, however, you want to watch the movie. Of course, you know Marvel, they always have the end where they still go and show you another part of the movie that people miss. Well, at the end they show Kang. Remember, Kang is a black man, right? He's the same black man from what's that love I can't even think of the name of the goddamn show that used to come on HBO. Oh gosh, I'm gonna think of it once I get off the video, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's it. But he the same black man. So he is Kang, or He Who Remains, or the Conqueror. I really love it because now the so-called supervillain is a black man, and he's the timekeeper. He has created all that has been or whatever will be, and it's so many different existences of him. Now, at the very end of Ant-Man and Wasp, the Quantumania, they show 3 Kangs. They show one as an ancient one, they show one as a present Kang, and they show one as a futuristic, bald-headed. He looks similar to like a robot or AI. And they are the 3 council who put out He Who Remains, or the Conqueror, which is various variants of the Conqueror or He Who Remains. They kicked him out of time-space reality. So that's why he's created all of these various existences. And then they end up showing all millions of variants of Kang when it goes off. And then they show at the very end, they show Kang from the 1800s, and then they connected, Loki was in the audience, and they connect Loki back to Kang, or He Who Remains, or the Conqueror. So you all have to see it. I love the last episode of Loki. Very interesting, because when they show He Who Remains, which is Kang the Conqueror, he's eating the apple. And so, you know, I was talking today, and I was talking about it was so cool to show him eating the apple, because we all know the whole mythology story of Adam and Eve taking a bite of the apple, and then they came into consciousness and awareness of who they are, right? And then they knew they were naked. So they ate from the tree of life, from the fruit, from the serpent. The serpent told them. Okay, so I go all into that. So I love movies that make me go deeper in thinking, and it connects to this spiritual walk as well. So I definitely wanted to share that with you all. I thought that was a very, very, very interesting part to Ant-Man. Right, so you all, if you haven't checked out Ant-Man, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to be the spoiler alert for it, but I definitely, like I didn't want to be the spoiler alert for Black Adam. I kind of gave y'all a lot of Black Adam, but I'm not going to give y'all a lot of Ant-Man. I'm going to let y'all figure out Ant-Man and look at it, and look at the last episode of Loki, y'all. For those who like the multiverse, if you like movies like Interstellar, the multiverse, Doctor Strange, you'll like it. So that's what I wanted to share. I know I went all over the place, and then I brought it back around. All right, so as always, I want to leave you all in peace and high frequencies, everybody.